covering the section of Yitro. There are 54 parshas in the Torah, in the 5 books of Moses. This is the section of Yitro. It starts in verse 18, and what we read there in the scroll, chapter 18. Yitro, that's Jethro, and Yitro, Moshe's father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for Elohim. And Aaron came and all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moshe's father-in-law before Elohim. So they're back in the land where Moshe has spent 40 years tending sheep. And this is Yitro's stomping ground. And now Moshe has spent a lot of time here, and he's back home, so to speak, and brought all of Israel with him. And here they are coming back to the mountain. I'm going to pick that up in chapter 19. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. They were departed from Rephidim, and there came to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moshe went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shall you say to the house of Yaakov, and tell the children of Israel, You have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. And now, therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, and this really needs a little bit of help from the Hebrew, because they left some words out here. And it's if you will guard Aleph Tav, my covenant, is our word that's missing here. And let's lay some eyeballs on it. We're in 19 verse 5. Va'ata, and now, im, so if listening, you will listen. If shemaing, you will shema. You will listen in my voice, and will guard, ushmar tem, if you will guard Aleph Tav, my covenant. So guarding the Messiah, my covenant, is the point here. They just left that little word blank. They said it's a direct object marker. It means nothing in English, therefore you don't even need to know about it. But it's way more than a direct object marker. You will become to me a segula, a special treasure from all of the nations, because to me is all of the earth. So he continues, and he says, You will be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, and these are the words which you will speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all the words which Yahweh commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that Yahweh hath spoken, we will do. And Moshe returned the words of the people unto Yahweh. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Lo, I came unto you in a thick cloud, and the people may hear when I speak with you, and believe you forever. And Moshe told the words of the people unto Yahweh. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the 3rd day. For the 3rd day Yah will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And you will set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves that you go not up unto the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death. It's really dying, they will die. And there will not a hand touch it, but he will surely be stoned or shot through, whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet sounded long, they will come up to the mount. And Moshe went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the 3rd day, come not at your wives. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceedingly loud, so that all the people that were in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Elohim, and they stood at the foot of the mountain, and Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yah descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moshe spoke, and Elohim answered him by a voice. Well, we need to make a correction in verse 19, and I don't have a parsing page for that. So again, we're just going to look at it at the interlinear. This is pretty significant. Let's see, I'm going to bring this in, Deb, just a little bit.
Okay.
So that might need a new focus.
Okay. Get on that.
So it says here, and he was the voice. They put sound, but this is kol. This is the word voice. And he was the voice of the shofar. They said sounding long, but this isn't the word sounding. Holek, or holek, this word is the root yalak. This word, the root of the word yalek or yalak, is to go for a walk. It isn't to sound anything. It has nothing to do with sound. Translators, their prerogative, they just kind of get a little liberal and they interpret for you instead of translate. This word, he's taking himself for a walk. But who's walking? It is the voice, the kol of the shofar is taking himself for a walk, kazak, strongly, and very, moed, or moed. And so there is a very, very strong voice walking on the mountain. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Genesis chapter 3. Yes. And if we go back to Genesis chapter 3, this is where Adam and Eve have sinned. And now then, they have dressed themselves in fig leaves. And here in verse 8, they heard Aleph Tav, the kol, this is the word voice, not sound. They heard Aleph Tav, the voice, Yahweh Elohim, taking himself for a walk. Here's your holek again, taking himself for a walk in the garden, Bagan. So this is the voice of Yahweh walking in the garden. And I think some of your translations in the English may actually say that. It may actually reveal that it is the voice walking in the garden. It's kind of odd, but that is the same thing that's happening here. Let's see, where did we go? Verse 19. And he was the voice of the shofar, taking himself for a walk, strong, very. So the voice is walking on the mountain. What happened before? When we take a look, let's look at it in my good old King James. In chapter 3. And they heard the voice of Yahweh Elohim walking in the garden. What did they do? Hid themselves from the presence of Yah. Sin drives us away. What is happening here? We have really the voice of the shofar is not sounding long, it is walking on the mountain. The same way as the voice was walking in the garden in the cool of the evening. What do the people do? Well, they hear his voice. Verse 18 of chapter 20, and the people saw the thunderings, the lightnings, the noise of the trumpet, the mountain smoking, and when the people saw, they removed and stood afar off, and they said to Moshe, "Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die." And I really want to look at those words.
Is that what you double it?
Say that again.
Is that and he said to him?
Oh,
That's like double here or something.
yeah, so
That's
what Jonathan is asking, is this a double he said to him? No, because the dogish inside of the vav is going to say they, most likely. You or they. And so this is they, but that's going to take and preempt the yod. The yod's going to inform it probably.
This chapter 19 or 20?
This is chapter 20.
Thank you.
And up at the top line, you're going to see, I've noted each verse that we're actually parsing at the top line. So it's Exodus 20. In the Hebrew, it's verse 16. The slash there means the English. In your English Bible, it's verse 19. So the next verse we're going to do is verse 17 in the Hebrew, but it's verse 20 in the English, and so on. And they said to Moshe, and what did they say? They said, Daber. I'm going to put it more literally. Word. You word is how we're going to put it. You word with us. This with is in cahoots with. This is in league with. This is, Hebrew has two different withs. And this is the with that means we're together on this. And they said to Moshe, word you with us, and we, so that blue noon right there in the front is we. The green vav, of course, is and we will, because it's in completed action, we will hear Shema with a feminine endearment on the end. We'll listen to this. We'll listen to you. But you word with us.
And you said that's in cahoots.
Right, because this is the with that says we're in league with, we're in cahoots with. So you word with us, Moshe, and we will Shema. Now, what happens after that is they say, and not, oh, thank you, Denise. Right up here on that top line, that little marker right there is our etnakta, so that is the completed thought. not the end of the sentence. And not let word, is this adjussive, Susie?
Adjussive and meaning, yeah.
Adjussive and meaning.
Right.
Let him. And not let him word with us Elohim. Lest, pen, the word pen is lest. We, there's the blue noon in the front that's going to say we. Namut, lest we die. We will die. Okay.